If there is any God in this world, in this subway, I beg you to help me. I implore you so that something, anything, would come and help us get through this. Beg that my cries of help will be heard because, right now, I'm this close to getting caught as well. They got everyone else. I'm hiding under the chairs a few carts away from the main one, hoping that I can somehow help the rest, or at the very least, manage to slip away. It's not selfish if I don't help them out, right? If I run, I can just find a new group. No, I can't lie to myself. If I leave now, I wouldn't be able to live with the guilt. I need to calm myself down. I need to continue. Maybe someone can give me some insight I can't see. Please. After Gertrude left, the old woman I found watching over me as I woke up, I fell right back to sleep. I dreamt I was in a park, going out for an evening stroll with Mary. The light breeze was gently blowing past us as autumn's leaves were gently falling down, covering the walkway like a blanket. The sun, going beyond the horizon, shimmered into the small waves of the lake we found ourselves stopping at, giving the atmosphere around us an air of tranquility. I've never felt so at peace, watching the light bouncing from the lake into Mary's emerald eyes. She turned and smiled at me, giving me that cheeky grin I always enjoyed staring at. Holding my hand, she told me that everything would be all right, and I believed her with all of my heart. The last orange rays of the sun were suddenly replaced by the cold light of the subway when I woke up again. I almost began to cry, not knowing if I've woken up from a dream or just now entered a nightmare. It's been a few days since I've entered this place, and I haven't eaten anything. Up until then, all the adrenaline pumping inside my body kept me somewhat functional. However, having somewhat of a peaceful moment, the pain of hunger kicked in like never before. Making sure that my phone was still with me, slowly I walked to the carts where everyone else was. Right as I entered, 15 pairs of eyes, both young and old, stared at me. "Look who finally decided to join us for dinner." I heard a familiar gravelly voice yelling at me from the other side of the cart. "Almost went back there to check if you were still with us." "Oh, be quiet, you," the old woman said. "Can't you see he's barely awake as it is? Leave the poor kid be." "It's all right." I barely managed to mutter, my eyes still adjusting to the light. "Did you say dinner?"
"Why, yes, he did, mister."
A new voice jovially rang out, a slight southern tinge to her accent.
Sit down. Poor thing, you must be starving, no?"
"Yeah, I am actually."
"Well, you're in luck. Today we managed to catch some of the good stuff. Here, take this."
This woman, Helen, proceeded to stab a small slab of meat with a pocket knife, taking it from a pipe that was running at our feet across the cart, putting it on a piece of plastic. This is actually quite nice," I said, speaking through bites. "Tastes like chicken. What is it?"
"Rat."
I almost puked the second I heard that. Most of the people present chuckled a bit. Apparently, though, 2 guys got slightly offended when they saw the disgust on my face. "You got fresh rat to eat and you act like that?" one of the guys said. "Yeah, you should be grateful." The other agreed. Looking in their direction, a pair of twins were giving me a nasty look. They couldn't have been older than 15. Michael, Gabriel, an older man, who still looked a bit younger than Matt, began scolding the two. "It's not polite to talk to strangers like that. You two better apologize to him."
"That's right, dears,"
said a woman sitting next to him, her voice a bit gentler, but still as firm as the man's.
"He's clearly new here. We've taught you better than that."
Michael and Gabriel held their heads down and apologized. I told them it's fine, and they shouldn't worry too much about it. Reluctantly, I went on to finish the rat meat, given the fact that it was either that or starving.
Oh, don't be such a baby.
Said Helen with a big grin on her face.
You'll get used to it. Hell, I dare even say I'm proud of managing to make it taste as good as it does. I am so glad you're here with us, Helen. Can't find a finer cook in these parts.
Encouraged the twins' mom. Indeed. Best rat meat cook on this side of the subway. The dad joked.
Better than that cockroach stew you attempted last week, John.
Huh, not missing a beat, eh, Emily?
Of course, dear. If I wasn't around, who would make fun of your cooking attempts?
Yeah, I know I'm a very good cook. Just like how you're one amazing masseuse. My back still hurts. After that, they laughed and hugged each other, much to the dismay of the twins. Seeing them like that made me wish I was next to Marie. Once everyone had their dinner, we remained in this living room of sorts and everyone began to chat with each other. Matt and John were talking about the old days from before the subway and who's next to go hunt for supplies. Gertrude, Helen, and Emily were talking about what they should do for breakfast, and Michael and Gabriel were playing with an old set of cards. Seeing everyone so relaxed was odd given the circumstances, but at the same time, I couldn't help but feeling a bit better too. Finally being able to feel not on edge for the first time since I got here. Looking around, I noticed that a good portion of chairs were missing, giving the cart a feeling of being bigger than it actually was. It was nice having some breathing room, as much as the subway would allow. Further looking around, I saw a wall socket a few feet away. I quickly patted myself down and, thankfully, I had my charger on me. Plugging it in, I was so relieved when I saw it working. My phone won't be dying anytime soon. Afterwards, looking at the ceiling pipes, I noticed some plastic boxes on them, glued to the ceiling. John noticed me staring at them a bit confused. Oh, you looking at the makeshift fridges? Makeshift fridges? Yeah, quite proud of them actually. Made them years ago, before my blowtorch ran out of gas. Just cut some of the chairs and bars, welded them on cold pipes, and boom, we can store meat and water. Okay, but if you can store meat and water, why did you have Matt go to the drip? We were running very low, replied Matt. And I would have gotten more if it wasn't for the blackout. You mean when the lights went all dark on us? Yep. You wouldn't want to be caught there. If you thought the conductor was bad, the janitor is way worse. By janitor, do you mean that thing I saw when I came to get your foot unstuck? We call it that because it cleans everything from the cart he's in, leaving absolutely nothing behind once it's in there. Ticket or no ticket. Thank God he doesn't move much. Matt told us everything. Interfered John. You were brave for going back to get him. We're very thankful you saved him. I still think it was very stupid. You could have gotten killed too. By that he means thank you. Don't you put words in my mouth, you old bastard. I know we don't have mirrors here, but you should look in one before commenting on anyone being old. Even Gertrude looks younger than you. Now, enough with the banter, interrupted Gertrude. Have you two decided who's going to be on the watch this time? I'm feeling very tired. Why not have the kid do it? He had his beauty sleep up till now. Yeah, said Matt thoughtfully. It would be a good chance for him to learn the ropes. What do you mean by the watch? I replied, slightly confused. Every time we go to sleep, one of us stays awake to look around for the conductor. If it comes, the watch wakes everyone up so we can present our tickets. That's it? Nothing else? I suppose you also have to keep a watch out for the janitor and other humans, but honestly, it's very rare for either of those to happen. I've only seen the janitor twice in all my time here, and it's even rarer for someone else to get here. Oh, well, in that case, sure, I'll stand watch. Thanks, kid. I needed the sleep. Haven't had much since you got here.
You should have seen him,
said Helen, overhearing us.
He was so worried about you, pacing around the cart all pent up.
And you should also shut up, Helen. Don't just butt in like that.
But that's my job. I'd be so bored if I didn't.
And you. Matt pointed at me. We still need to talk about that stunt you pulled. She then laughed for a bit while I was completely lost. Matt tried his hardest to appear angry at Helen, but at most he looked slightly annoyed. It was nice seeing him like that. After everyone went to sleep, I remained awake to watch over. I had plenty of time to think about everything that had happened so far, still not believing any of this was real. I slapped myself again just to be sure, and it still hurt. With that failed attempt, I tried to keep my mind occupied with the outside world, thinking of what I'll do once I manage to get out. If I managed to get out, I'd have Mom's cooking, and then I'd go out drinking with the boys, followed by visiting Mary's place and watching movies until morning. Then, we'd go hang out in the park again, and then I'd finally Hey, you there, kid? A voice brought me back to reality, or at least what was my current reality. Matt? Yeah, I'm here. What's up? Your shift is up. Really? It hasn't been that long, has it? I took out my phone and sure enough, it's been a few hours since everyone else has gone to sleep. I suppose you're taking over now? Nah, now it's Helen's turn. Right now, we are gonna go scavenging. What do you mean by that? By that, I mean supplies. We need to go back to the drip to get more water. We'll also check around for the traps to see if we got more meat. We also need to look around for tickets. We already have enough to last us all for at least a month, but it never hurts to get more. I also need to teach you how to handle yourself better. I don't need you to become a dead weight on us, alright, kid? Yeah, okay, let's go. And with that, we took a few spare tickets and started going towards the drip. We didn't manage to get 2 carts away before hearing Helen screaming. We rushed back to our carts as fast as we could, and right as we were about to enter, we looked up through the window to see what was going on. In the cart, there were 5 men standing up, all of them having guns, pointing them towards the rest who were kneeling down. The man in front of everyone began to yell. Alright, everyone. We're either going to do this the easy way or the hard way. Hand over all your tickets and supplies, and no one's gonna get hurt. If you don't do that, you'll soon find out you won't be needing them anyways. And also, if anyone tries to play hero, you'll know what pain truly feels like.
You can't just be taking our food and tickets.
Helen yelled back.
We'll die out there.
The man went in front of Helen, putting his gun to her forehead. Look at me. He growled at Helen. Look at me. Does it look like I give a shit about any of y'all? One more word out of line, and that wall over there will soon have a new coat of red paint. Hey, boss. Interrupted one of the other men. You sure you want to kill this one? She looks so pretty. I'm sure she'd be fun to mess around with. Beginning to chuckle to himself while looking at Helen. You might have a point there, Brad, said the leader, lowering the gun from Helen's forehead. However, you're missing one important detail. What's that? The guy didn't have time to finish his sentence. As soon as he opened his mouth, the leader shoved the gun into the man's mouth and pulled the trigger, blowing away his head in front of everyone. I said, one more word out of line. Now, looking back at the people who were kneeling, I can also be very understanding. Do what I say, and we'll get along just fine. Everyone was too mortified to say anything. I was too mortified to do anything. Matt, however, was fuming. Without thinking, he went right inside the cart, rushing the remaining 4 men. I stayed back, unable to move as I watched Matt get shot right in his legs. And what did I say about playing hero? Said the leader. Don't get me wrong, we could have killed him right now, but we'd much rather have him stay alive for now. It's quite fortunate that he stumbled back here. With this idiot dead, I need more people who'd be listening to me. And more importantly, it shows me that there are more of you out there. Mike, Rich, go check the next 15 carts in either direction and come back. After hearing that, I started crawling away, hoping I wouldn't get noticed. I had some leeway since the men were on the other side of the cart. Completely terrified, I find myself now hiding a few carts away. Wait. I heard him enter. I'm holding my breath, typing this last part, hoping I won't get noticed. Please don't notice me. Please don't notice me. Please don't notice. He hasn't. Not even on the way back. Thank God. I heard the door to the next cart open, leaving me again in the silence of the cart. Hopefully, I can find a way to save the rest.